Very often people are asked us if this is a theater that President Lincoln was in when he was shot. And we point out to them that A, let's review our American history, and B, Ford Theater is in Washington, D.C. And if you really push the subject, you can show the seat that President Lincoln was in if he would have been shot by John Wilkes in the Chicago area. We do get asked that question quite often. So, you are standing in the lobby of the Oriental Theater. The theater opened in June of 1926 at a reported cost of $3 million. Now, to give you some idea of what $3 million was back in those days, general admission for the theater was 25 cents. You had Calvin Coolidge as president. Bread cost 9 cents a loaf. Milk cost 56 cents a gallon. Eggs were 45 cents a dozen. Gas was 23 cents. Now think about this past summer, gas is almost $5 a gallon. 23 cents. The average household income back in 1926 was $1,500. And so you paid 25 cents and you were able to come into the theater. The theater was open pretty much every day around 11 a.m. and was closed about midnight. So for 25 cents you could stay as long as you wanted. There was always the show going on. You would have an orchestra. You would have the pipe organ. You would have some type of stage show going on. You would maybe have a newsreel. You would have your B feature, and then your A feature, and then your repeated show. The theater, like I say, opened in 1926. It was owned by Dalvin and Katz, who had a huge theater chain in the Midwest with theaters in New York, St. Louis, Detroit, and a few other places. Where are y'all from, by the way? So the theater was owned by Dalvin Katz. One of their other theaters was the Chicago Theater across the street, still in existence. And the theater was designed by George and Cornelia Kraft. They had quite the reputation for creating huge places like this. They designed about 400 theaters in the United States and Canada. There's about 150 of them that still exist, and we're one of them. The Chicago Theater across the street is also an example of a rap brother. There's still a few down in St. Louis, Missouri, and a couple in New York right now. But anyway, this is the Oriental Theater, as I said. If you take a look up, you have a 4.5-story lobby. There's only a couple theaters, bigger lobbies than we have in this place. But if you look around, you can see some of the examples of what the Rap Brothers were able to do. If you look over here, you have a very beautiful Indian princess, and on the other side, you have her equally handsome Indian prince. If you look back at our princess, take a look at her ankle and her wrist and upper arm. You can see her jewels glowing. Actually, those are raised tiles. You have a beautiful mosaic, but those are raised tiles. And once the lights hit them, they really give a beautiful little sparkle. So, one of the other examples we have of some of the Rap Brothers work, when you're looking at the walls, you think we have beautiful marble on the walls. It's actually not, it's plaster. What they would do is they would put the plaster on the wall, buff it out, shine it, and you can see it looks exactly like marble. But they were trying to get these places done quickly and as economically as possible. And to do marble, they would have to wait for years for it to be delivered. But they did the plaster. And in places you really can't tell the difference between plaster and marble. So
it's an Italian, if I can butt in, it's an Italian art form, and they do use some marble in it. It's crushed up marble and rocks and glue. They spread it out thick. And one of the ways you can tell it's fake is because real marble has to be cut in blocks. So you can see the cut lines where the blocks end, and these are, they can roll them straight out all the way up.